All right, so let's talk about this whole situation with Candace Owens going on Twitter and posting a tweet that said that pornography should be banned and that it is a psychological weapon that is used to weaken men. And so when it comes to that statement, right, it's yes and no, okay, for me. She's right and wrong. Pornography is not a psychological weapon. However, it does weaken men, right? But it's not a psychological weapon. A weapon is like a gun, a knife. If someone were to kind of break into your house, right, and they had a gun or a knife, they can use that weapon to hurt you or to unalive you. And that's not really your choice. You didn't choose to get knifed or gunned down by an intruder. When it comes to corn, you made the conscious decision to watch two people having sex. You made the conscious decision to go on the search bar of Google and type in ebony corn, corn hub, X video, whatever, XX video, however you type it. You typed in MILF, typed in a sexual word, popped up. You clicked on the link, and it took you to a plethora of videos, of flicks that you can choose from. And you chosen to click on one of those flicks. And you sat there and you watched. Was that attacking you? Was that a psychological weapon being used to attack you? No, it wasn't. It was you attacking yourself. When you watch corn, guys, you have to understand it's going to weaken you. It's going to weaken your spirit. It's going to weaken your mind. It's going to weaken everything about you. It may not feel like in the beginning, but as time progresses, as the addiction runs rampant in your life, it begins to build up as an addiction. It escalates to an addiction. It's going to weaken you. So therefore, Candace Owens is wrong in that regard by saying it is a psychological weapon. No. When something is being used as a weapon, it's usually out of your control. When that weapon is being used against you, you have no choice but to be hurt by that weapon. If someone decides to shoot you with their gun, like second amend you type of deal, can you control that person gunning you down? No, you can't control that. If someone's going to shoot you, it's out of your control. That person made a conscious decision to shoot you. You can't just dodge a bullet like Neo in the Matrix. That's not how this works. So she's right when it says that corn weakens men, but it also weakens women. I don't know why she's acting as if this is a guy problem. Women are addicted to corn too, if not more women than men. Corn affects women just as much as it affects men. But a lot of people will sit here and say that men are just affected by it. Women can watch all the corn that they want and they won't be affected by what they see long term. That's a lie. Because then women are going to have these unrealistic expectations on what they want from a guy in the bedroom. What they saw on the flick, they want their dude to repeat the same thing, to reenact a scene that they saw on Pornhub. What was done to that woman in the scene, Becky in the scene, getting her back blown out by Chad. Oh, she wants the same treatment from you as well. But sex is supposed to be a sacred thing. It's not supposed to be all about pleasure. It is about pleasure, but it's supposed to be more than just pleasure, more than just a fantasy. But when you meet a woman and then she wants that type of treatment, like her hair pulled, she wants to be roughing up. Not every woman wants that in the bedroom, guys. It's the women that watch porn that want that fantasy, or they want that treatment done to them. They fantasize about that treatment, so they want it, right? That's what they're craving for. They didn't just crave that treatment in the bedroom out of the blue. No, they watched Becky on Pornhub. They watched a MILF getting her back blown out roughly. Just, she got destroyed, pretty much. Let's just leave it at that. She got destroyed in the bedroom. So now she wants that same treatment from you as well. See, porn, it creates these unrealistic expectations on what a guy and a woman, how a guy and a woman should act in the bedroom. It's unrealistic. These are just fantasies that live in our head. They would never exist if we were never exposed to adult film. And the reason why we can't get up in the bedroom is because of porn. For a lot of us men, porn has stripped away our desire to be with a woman sexually, to be with a woman naturally. Why go pursue a woman when you can just turn on Pornhub and watch all these MILFs and jack off to all of them, getting their back blown out by some dude? You know what I'm saying? When you can just watch the flick, get your nut off just like that, without having to actually pursue a woman for those sexual encounters. Meet her, get to know her, build a relationship, etc. But you see, watching porn is too easy. Searching our favorite flick on Google is too easy. It requires little effort. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why not just buy the milk for free at the grocery market than to juice the milk out the cow? Why not just get the milk for free instead of milking the cow for it? You know what I'm saying? All this easy, instant gratification, cheap dopamine thrills, it's destroying our minds. Okay? It's not just men, it's also destroying women's minds too. Women can act socially awkward around men. We can act socially awkward around women because of all the porn that we watched. And the reason why that's happening is because we lost our confidence. Our confidence is weakened as well. So what affects the men also affects the women too, right? It may not be on a bigger scale, but it still affects them nonetheless on what they're watching. But no one will ever talk about that because it's always this, oh, we got to hold men accountable agenda. Men are always at fault. It's always a man's fault. Everything he does or says, it's his damn fault. Men are always to blame, right? I can sit here and hold myself accountable. I've been addicted almost my whole life when it comes to corn. I'm a recovering addict. 3 months sober from corn. And it's been a very tough journey. Very tough. You know what I'm saying? So when you're quitting an addiction, you don't want to go back to it. You want to close off the access to what you were addicted from. Take away the convenience of that vice. And it's hard to do that at first. I'm not going to lie. A lot of temptation's going to come your way, guys. And for the women too, if you're watching. If you are on the pathway to quitting corn, becoming sober from it, becoming clean from it, right? Understand it's going to be a tough journey. You're going to have a lot of temptation. But you have to flee from that temptation, like it says in the Bible to flee from temptation, flee from lust. So, and another thing is I want to talk about is that Cardi B basically disagreed with Candace Owens on her tweet. Now, it's not no shocker. We know that Cardi B is a sexual deviant herself, right? We already know her past. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that she is for the streets and that she is a 304 by nature. Okay, at the very core, she is a 304. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't surprise me that she disagreed with Candace Owens saying that pornography is making men weak. She said that men should watch more of it to learn how to have sex with a woman in the bedroom, and that's ridiculous. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? That sounds very, very dumb and idiotic. You don't learn sex from just watching a corn flick. Like, you do realize those two people are just acting. You realize that they're just acting. That's not what sex is supposed to look like in real life. The whole purpose of sex is to bring forth life, bring forth children. And of course, Cardi B is going to disagree because she'd rather see the destruction of all men, right? She's a puppet for the Matrix. She don't really want to see men become empowered in society. That's just the truth. And she knows deep down that corn will only disempower men. So Cardi B saying that, not Cardi B, Candace Owens saying that it's a psychological weapon. It's not. We chose to watch corn. We chose to become addicted all those years. That was our choice to watch, to get our rocks off, to jack off, whack off, whatever you want to call it. We chose that addiction. Just like you choose alcohol, you chose weed, you chose drugs. It ain't no one else's fault but you. See, us men, we can hold ourselves accountable for our own destruction, for our own addiction. But can women hold themselves accountable? No, not all of them. There's not women holding themselves accountable for their own corn addiction. And there are a lot of women that do watch corn. Where do you think they get all this unrealistic expectations in the bedroom from? Unless they already had, sex with their partner or man beforehand, right? They just got out of a relationship, and that guy set the tone for her when it comes to, the bedroom, right? And she was never really watching corn, right? She just had a better deal beforehand, before she met the new guy. But corn is only teaching women how to have unrealistic expectations when it comes to sex. A very distorted belief of intercourse. And that applies to both genders, not just women, but men as well. But in this video, I'm making it clear that women have an addiction to corn as well, but they're not going to be held accountable. No, of course not. Right? But once again, guys, it's not a weapon. It's not a weapon. We chose to attack ourselves of watching corn all those years. It was our conscious decision at the end of the day. So that being said, I just want to talk about this matter. Cardi B, of course, she will disagree because she's a puppet for the Matrix. Well, there's nothing that I can say about that. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, thank y'all for watching. I'm out, and peace.